Did you know that in medieval Europe, animals were put on trial for crimes against humans, judged in formal courts, and sentenced to death? In the late Middle Ages, Europe lived under a worldview where the universe was moral, intentional, and watched. God ruled above, the devil interfered below, and every event, famine, disease, violence, was believed to carry meaning. There was no clear boundary between the natural and the supernatural. In this world, animals were not just beasts, they were capable of sin. And if they sinned, they could be punished. One of the most infamous cases occurred in 1386 in the French town of Falaise. A pig had attacked and killed a child. The animal was arrested, imprisoned in a cell, dressed in human clothing for court, and placed on trial before a judge. Witnesses were called, testimony was heard. The pig was found guilty of murder. Its sentence was public execution by hanging. The execution was carried out in the town square before a gathered crowd as a warning, not to other animals, but to humans. And these trials were not rare. Across France, Germany, Switzerland, and Italy, animals were brought before courts for crimes ranging from murder to property destruction. Secular courts tried individual animals, usually for violent acts against humans. These trials resembled human criminal cases. The animal was arrested, jailed, sometimes even provided legal representation, and sentenced publicly. Ecclesiastical courts, run by the church, handled collective cases, plagues of insects or animals blamed for natural disasters. Priests would formally banish pests from specific lands, invoking God's authority to remove them. Behind these executions lay fear. Medieval Europe was unstable. Infant mortality was high. Disease was constant. Crop failure meant starvation. When tragedy struck, people searched for meaning. An animal that killed a child or destroyed food stores was not just dangerous, it was symbolic. Punishing it publicly reassured the community that order still existed. As legal systems evolved, some jurists started questioning whether animals could truly possess intent or guilt. By the 17th century, skepticism grew. Enlightenment thinking reframed animals as irrational beings, governed by instinct, not moral agency. Gradually, animal trials faded from practice. The last known animal execution in Europe occurred in the early 1700s. Yet the legacy of these trials lingers. They reveal a world where law was performative, justice was symbolic, and fear shaped reality. Today, animals no longer stand trial, but we still search for blame in moments of chaos. We still turn to ritual, spectacle, and punishment to reassure ourselves that the world is ordered, that tragedy has meaning. The medieval courtroom is gone. The impulse behind it is not. If you want more stories where history turns strange, unsettling, and deeply human, subscribe to this channel.